hi, my LGBT friends and others. Um, I wanted to go over the book of Leviticus since we're going to be reading it and just kind of give you sort of a breakdown of what we're to expect. Okay, so the name, the book of Leviticus, is derived from the tribe of Levi. Levi Leviticus. Okay, Leviticus. And the author is Moses, which is commonly accepted that all the first five books of the book of the Bible was written by Moses. Okay, and so the key words in this book are access and holiness, and also just kind of to note, Stephen Ben Danoon is from the tribe of Levi. And he, has his own YouTube channel, and he talks about what's going on in Israel and the Bible. And he and his wife, their YouTube channel is mostly based upon the Bible and what is happening worldwide and how it relates to the Bible and how it relates to what's going on in the land of Israel. So you can look them up. Central person, the high priest, a central theme. How can a sinful man approach a holy God? All right. So the companion book to the book of Levi is the book of Hebrews as well. And the access, so I'm just going to kind of sort of break this down, and then as I read it, you'll know what we're going to be talking about. So one is the way to access to God. Okay, so this is before Christ. So this is what they would have to do through burnt offerings, meat, peace offerings, sin offerings, trespass offerings, through priestly meditation, human priesthood, cleansing of your garments, your atonements for your sinfulness. Okay, and then two, special enactments governing Israel as to food, cleanliness, sanitation, customs, morals, emphasizing purity of life, a condition of a divine favor, purity of priesthood and offerings, and the 5 annual solemnities or feast. And so you'll hear, we have the Feast of Passover, the Feast of Pentecost, the Feast of Trumpets, the Day of Atonement, the Feast of Tabernacles, and then it also goes into the general enactments and instructions of the sabbatical year. Once in 7 years, the ground was left untilled, and the year of the Jubilee. Once in 50 years, the salves were liberated, slaves. Okay, debtors were freed. A general restitution took place, and so forth, and conditions of blessings and warnings concerning chastisement. The law of vows, the book of Hebrews, should be studied as a companion to Leviticus, as I said before. So if we go now to the book of Leviticus, we'll start, I'll try to get as much in as I can. So I hope that that's helpful to you. Okay, so the third book of Moses, called Leviticus, chapter 1, deals with the burnt offerings, the herd, the flocks, and the foals. And the Lord called unto Moses and spoke unto him out of the tabernacle of the congregation, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, and say to them, If any man of you bring an offering unto the Lord, you will bring your offering of cattle, even of the herd and of the flock. If his offering be a burnt sacrifice of the herd, let him offer a male without blemish. He shall offer it of his own voluntary will at the door of the tabernacle of the congregation before the Lord. And he shall put his hand upon the head of the burnt offering, and it shall be accepted for him to make atonement for him. And he shall kill the bullock before the Lord, and the priest and Aaron's sons shall bring the blood and sprinkle the blood around and about the altar that is by the door of the tabernacle of the congregation. And he shall flay the burnt offering and cut it into pieces. And the sons of Aaron and the priest shall put the fire upon the altar and lay the wood in order upon the fire. And the priest and Aaron's sons shall lay the parts of the head, the fat, in order upon the wood that is on the fire, which is upon the altar. But his inwards and his legs shall be washed in water, and the priest shall burn all on the altar, to be a burnt sacrifice, an offering made by fire of a sweet savor unto the Lord. And if his offering be of flocks, namely of sheep or goats or burnt sacrifice, he shall bring it a male without blemish. And he shall kill it on the side of the altar northward before the Lord, and the priest and Aaron's sons shall sprinkle his blood around about the altar. And he shall cut it into pieces with his head and his fat, and the priest shall lay them in order on the wood that is on the fire, which is upon the altar. And he shall wash the inwards and legs with water, and the priest shall bring it all and burn it upon the altar. It is a burnt sacrifice, an offering made by fire of a sweet savor unto the Lord. And if the burnt sacrifice for his offering to the Lord be of fowls, he shall bring his offering of turtle doves or of young pigeons. And the priest shall bring it unto the altar, wringing off his head, and burn it in the altar, and the blood thereof shall be wrung out at the side of the altar. And he shall pluck away his cup with his feathers, and cast it beside the altar on the east part by the place of the ashes. And he shall cleave it with the wings thereof, but shall not divide it asunder. And the priest shall burn it upon the altar, upon the wood that is upon the fire. It is a burnt sacrifice, an offering made by fire of sweet savor unto the Lord. Now, if you have kids, you may not want them to hear this, It might traumatize them. I know if I was a young kid and I heard that and I didn't understand, I might be a little bit traumatized by it. Where am I? Okay, chapter 2. The meat offering of flour with oil and incense. The obligation of first fruits not to be burned, and the salt of the meat offering. And when any will offer a meat offering unto the Lord, his offering shall be of fine flour. He shall pour oil upon it, and put frankincense thereon. And he shall bring it to Aaron's sons, the priest, and he shall take thereout his handful of the flour thereof, and of the oil thereof, and all the frankincense thereof, and the priest shall burn the memorial of it upon the altar, to be an offering made by fire of a sweet savor unto the Lord. And the remnant of the meat offering shall be Aaron and his sons. It is the thing most holy of the offerings of the Lord made by fire. And if thou bring an obligation of meat offering bacon in the oven, it shall be unleavened cakes of fine flour mingled with oil, or unleavened wafers anointed with oil. And if any obligation be a meat offering baked in a pan, it shall be of fine flour unleavened, mingled with oil. Thou shalt part it in pieces and pour oil thereon. It is a meat offering. And if thy obligation be a meat offering baked in frying pan, it shall be made of fine flour with oil. And thou shalt bring the meat offering that is made of these things unto the Lord. And when it is presented unto the priest, he shall bring it unto the altar. And the priest shall take from the meat offering a memorial thereof, and shall burn it upon the altar. It is an offering made by fire, of a sweet savor unto the Lord. And that which is left of the meat offering shall be Aaron's and his sons. It is a thing most holy of the offerings of the Lord made by fire. No meat offering which shall bring unto the Lord shall be made with leaven, for ye shall burn no leaven, nor any honey, or any offering of the Lord made by fire. As the obligation of the first fruits, you shall offer them unto the Lord, but they shall be not be burnt on the altar for a sweet savor. And every obligation of thy meat offering shall be seasoned with salt. Neither shalt thou suffer the salt of the covenant of thy God to be lacking from the meat offering. With all thy offerings thou shalt offer salt. If thou shalt offer meat offering of the first fruits unto the Lord, thou shalt offer for the meat offering of thy first fruits green ears of corn dried by the fire, even corn beaten out of full ears. And thou shalt put oil upon it, and lay frankincense thereon. It is a meat offering. And the priest shall burn it, the memorial of it, part of the beaten corn thereof, and part of the oil thereof, with all the frankincense thereof. It is an offering made by fire unto the Lord. Okay, I'm going to stop there. All right, that's our first reading of Leviticus. And as you can see, it's quite detailed as to what Aaron and his sons, the priest, had to follow and had to do that would be pleasing unto our Lord God. And anyway, I just wanted to get that started for today, and I'll try to, as I say, to be continued. And so try to get this going here for us before the end of the week. All right, take care. Bye-bye.